everyone, it's Tatan and Riku. You know, the best singer. Second. And welcome to the podcast. If you love me and you love Osu, you came to the right place. The podcast is made by the Vocaloid appreciation team. You see that? Subscribe. And we are cool people. Want to show you our mapping skills. They got the VMC. Do you wanna chill with people? They have chill people. Want to come up? We got you covered. Just join their Discord, and every week we host mapping zones where everybody maps together. Fun fact. If you have an addiction to looking at Twitter for convenient landings, now you can do that and listen to the podcast. Whoa! But of course, if you wanna participate, they got you covered. Twitch chat is a good way to ask questions for the podcast. And if you head over to Twitter, you can ask questions there too. I myself love that. So, if you're interested in supporting that or joining them, they have the Riku stamp of approval. Okay, bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 12th Fatcast. We're here with our special guest, Pishy Fat.
Hello, how's it going?
Come on.
I'm not going to do it. No, it's not going to happen. I had to stop myself. I said hello, and I'm like, wait, what's next? We're going to be not that, right?
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So, this is an OC podcast. It's just like, yeah, okay.
Comes on to an OSU podcast and doesn't even say hello there. Come on.
I haven't said those words in so many years.
Really? I don't believe that.
He's dropped there from his vocabulary because of Osu. It's kind of just like, and yet he still has the gall to get 727 put on a shirt for official Osu merch. Like, come on, man.
Your merch is so peak.
Yeah, the latest merch is super good.
The fact that we got Peppy back as a model, yes.
Although when you said like 727 on official Osu merch, I just got like flashbacks of the 727 in OWB or OBWC. Nothing knows what I'm talking about.
Wait, what is that?
The beat mapping World Cup.
I mean, I know that. Yeah, what was the 727?
On both of the last round pick'ems, it was people were favoring the leaders by 72.7%. Both fucking times. It's like some mass coordinated effort just to make that happen.
Yep.
But it wasn't. It was just the soul of people.
The people wanted it. Subconsciously.
Yeah.
You just can't make it up, honestly. Yeah, it's a good time. So, I think, honestly, I don't know how much of an introduction Pishy Fat needs, but do you want to introduce yourself, Pishy Fat?
Sure. My name is Pishy Fat on Osu. I've been a mapper for a long time, and I made videos a while ago, and I guess I also make videos now, but for different things. I used to make mapping videos, whereas now I make laser update videos on the Osu Game YouTube channel, the ones where it's mostly Peppy talking, but, I'm still doing the rest of the stuff. And, yeah, I also am in the nomination... I was about to say nomination appreciation team, because I see Vocaloid appreciation team. I'm in the NAT, and I do not what the normal NAT do there. I kind of just run the BN website, and that's kind of it. And other than that, yeah, I'm the tutorial guy, as someone said in chat. I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of things I can list. I'm done.
How about you're a bird photographer?
I suppose you could say that, yeah. No, I do have quite a few birds around my room. Let me just count real quick. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they're just on the walls. There's 12 birds on my wall right now.
I assume you're talking about photos, right?
No, yes, physical birds.
Real taxidermized birds, yeah.
Bird corpses.
Yeah,
No.
Took a lot of inspiration from Chuck Testa back in the day, you know? Like, as soon as that went viral, you know, Pishy was just gonna fill his room, you know?
You know what? I'm not one to judge, but I might judge there.
Taking
only
your own
living thing here
photos
is
and putting them up, that's so cool, though.
For sure, for sure.
Oh, well, okay, sorry, they're
You
not my
gotta-
photos. They're other people.
Oh,
Well, that's still cool.
Artists don't put
I
their
do
own
miss
art
the
up
I
all,
do
you know?
miss the Pishy Fat photos of birds on
know.
Twitter. That was always fun.
Yeah, they're on Blue Sky now.
Oh, is that where you are?
they are?
There's like 4 of them. So yeah.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
that's
better
better than 0.
Twitter. Fine.
I don't use either one at this point. They're just kind of social media like that has just gone by the wayside for me at this point. Too hard to maintain anything.
Yeah, I feel that. I've really stopped using them very much at all recently.
Yeah, the only one I use is YouTube, if you even call that social media. 'Cause I
Yes
can
and no.
mostly-
Yeah, kind
So
of.
do you
Yes,
really
and
like
I'd say it has
interact on YouTube,
interactivity,
or
but-
are you just like uploading and
no.
stuff like that? Like,
I mean, I never interacted on Twitter either, so it's kind of the same
I guess that's
niche.
fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I think it's a little different, but I think it's more for the content format. Like, I don't know. I still consider videos to be like their own thing, as opposed to just like, are 280 characters really content? You know, like, I don't know.
I mean, there's some you can make content out of 280 characters. It's just a new restriction on the medium, you know.
Yeah.
It's just most of it is not worth consuming.
Yeah.
I'd much rather
Yeah,
consume
no
any
kidding.
YouTube video than any tweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, something. Do you have any insight into the recent State of Ranked survey, Pishy?
I mean, we saw the news post, right? That's out at this point.
Of course.
I don't have much insight into like the progression of anything. If anything, I think Nafi would probably know more. I kind of I said I'm part of the NAT, but I also don't really follow most NAT stuff at this point. It's just constant.
Yeah, I mean, you have like a weird
constant volume of stuff.
a weird position, I feel like, because you're kind of like in the NAT, but you're also kind of like official OSU staff in certain ways.
Something like that. Well, whenever this is going to really date me, whenever the QAT turned into NAT, I was like, I don't need to join the NAT. I'm not going to be doing any nomination assessmenting, you know. But then I was also told like, well, we're going to put you in anyway, just because you have to be somewhere. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And now I've stuck there for 6 years at this point, doing I mean, at least at this point, they have like a new section for the structural NAT.
You know, they could have just made you a GMT instead. You know,
What?
that's
Right, they could have.
really-
Yeah. I am the GMT of the NAT. Let's put it that way.
The GMT of the NAT. That's kind of. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's about the same. I don't know. NAT is. I like to think of NAT as a stricter role than the GMT, because you know it's like GMT is so not strict that every 2 years we have a discussion about what is the GMT even. Actually, every time applications go up, but you know.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the original question, do I have any insight on the state of ranked survey thing? I don't have any like broader NAT insights. I only have my own insights, which very surprisingly were on the news post. Like, maybe this is outing myself and I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. There's like the quotes or whatever from like people in the NAT, people in the BN, and then players. And they chose my quote for the NAT, and I was like, well, wait, this is me. I had not read the news post until it was public, so like this was a surprise. And I don't know why they chose my quote necessarily, but I appreciate my voice being represented, I guess, in that way. Yeah, I see.
Sure.
I see it's on the stream now. Is that that first one?
It's okay. I mean, to be fair, you've had your voice represented by the masses.
Right.
But you know, that's a separate thing.
I just wasn't expecting it in this way specifically.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. Lots of surprises.
It's definitely a controversial take, I want to say. So it's really like
that
weird
you
that it's
want
up there.
more quality curation. I mean,
No,
I
no,
feel
no.
like
It's more like I want. It's not about quality curation. It's more like I want BNs to
care.
choose what they want or choose what they nominate rather than nominate whatever they think is acceptable. So like, let's say you think you have enough time to nominate 20 maps in a month, but if you just nominate like 3 that you think are the best of the best, whatever the best of the best is from your perspective, that'll lead to an interesting rank section, I think. More interesting than a very broad amount of maps. And I don't really have any basis for this. It's just a vibes thing. So I hope they're not going to use my ideology as anything. There's no chance they're going to use my ideology to progress the future of ranked because it's very much against everyone else's views. But yeah.
So, I mean, at least from my perspective, that's like status quo. Like, especially if you're actually like ABN or an NAT, and if you've done that work, like most people tend to operate that way. I'd say that once they get there, but of course that is at direct odds with what the player base wants. Lots of factors on that, like talk to death, blah blah blah, player mappers, different people. But yeah, that's what I see.
No, there's definitely people that instead of nominating what they like the best, they'll try to just nominate whatever they can. It's a little bit of a different angle. I think they're both trying to do something supportive and helpful to the ranked section, but it's a lot different of saying these are what I think are the best maps this month versus these are all of the maps that I think pass like the okay bar kind of thing.
So, I mean, those okay bar BNs, even then, they're still just promoting based off of songs, right? As opposed to, like, actual map quality themselves, because a lot of them, it's like, they don't really care either way. But it's like, I don't know if, I mean, I guess the concept of doormat BNs is a new one for me, because usually it's like you grind to the point where you get selected as a BN to put what you want into the ranked section. So it's news to me that I guess some people are so self-sacrificial that they're just going to nominate whatever comes across that's like okay. So
it very much depends on the person. I remember back when I was actually a BN and not in the NAT, I would just open my mod queue and accept 3 maps, and if they were like worth ranking, I'd be like, okay, let's put a bubble on this. Yeah, it doesn't operate like that for anyone else at this point, but you know, I don't do that anymore. My perspective is now completely different. Like now, I'm nominating only featured artist maps, which I guess no one else is doing either. So it's very much dependent on the person. Yeah.
Keep that. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, keep that in mind. Then time travel back 10 years. Yeah. Good luck.
It's okay.
Although I have noticed that like recently, I think I saw a couple maps that you nominated that were not featured artists. But whenever I say that, I'm like, those are.
Yeah, just they're not featured artists. Wink, wink. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, people have figured that out too. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
You can't hide.
Well, there is one map that I'm going to nominate that is absolutely not a featured artist because I did mod for mod with a Taiko BN because there's a Taiko featured artist map that I wanted ranked, and I can't do that obviously. I don't know Taiko enough, so I'm going to be nominating some like Russian pop song for that.
Wow.
People are going to be like, why did you just nominate featured artist maps for however many years and then you nominated this thing? Is this a new featured artist? This is really weird.
You just had, you just decided being an angsty teenager was no longer in your blood for music taste. You wanted Russian pop instead. That's
exactly,
all. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I got to spread the truth to Osu.
I think we're gonna move on. That was a sentence. Oh goodness. So Napi, you obviously missed the last VATcast, but you did go to COE, and so did Pishifat, I think, right?
Yes.
So
Yep.
we're gonna time travel and go back a little bit. How was that?
Oh my god,
There's
that's like
no
a
one.
century ago now.
It feels like yesterday.
It feels
2
like yesterday
months
for you.
ago.
Well, for Nafi, it was the first time. For me, I've gone 4 years in a row at this point. So I have a lot of different experiences every year, and every year is like something a little bit different. I think this year was interesting for I don't know. I got to the first thing that comes to mind. I played a lot of Mahjong. Like that was the main thing I did.
They had a table.
That is the
Oh
CLE
my God.
experience.
You know, the Mahjong's been building for a while, right? Because let's like even in 2023, they were the Mahjong was just starting to sprout, but now it's a much bigger thing because
Yeah.
Mahjong Soul is just so popular, I think. So everyone's just playing that now.
Yeah, no, I played a little Mahjong Soul, and I'm like, this makes me a worse person. I need to uninstall this. So I haven't played Mahjong in a bit, but I was like addicted to it in a way that I've not been addicted to anything since like I started playing Osu. I needed to stop. It was a problem.
Is finding a game you really like really a problem?
If I like it enough where I stay up until 6 a.m. playing it, yeah, it's a problem.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a bit much.
Oh my God. Speaking of like staying up late, I just remember like college, I was so down bad for like Hearts of Iron 4. I remember staying up like till 2 p.m. playing that one night. Oh.
Staying
Till
up
2
until
p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah, I was like up for like
when did
24
you wake
hours
up?
playing that shit. Like my sleep schedule in college was so screwed where I had to like I had to set alarms so that I could go to the dining center before they closed for dinner. They made sure I got up in time for that. Yeah. I was like
Goodness.
nocturnal.
Sure.
Oh God.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, no, I'm better now, I swear.
I hope so. You're gonna be flying passengers, and if you're this cooked when flying passengers, well,
Well, I'm not. I'm not that cooked. Speaking of flying passengers, I actually bought an airplane recently.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I
It's
bought an
very
the
airplane.
housing
airplane.
market sucks, so he just bought an airplane instead.
He's going to sleep in the sky.
It's a
Yeah.
recession indicator.
Well, I bought the airplane to start up my own flight school because, as many of you know, I'm a flight instructor. So
Oh shit!
that's what I did.
I did not know.
So it's a business venture. Yes.
Holy shit! From VAT to flight school. What the fuck?
He's
I was
been
already
both.
at a flight school. But I hated the management, so I'm like, screw this.
I could do better myself.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, learning a lot, making lots of mistakes. It's good and bad. We'll see. And I also went back to the BNG because, yeah, I had to
Welcome
nominate a couple
back.
maps.
Yo, thanks, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Your map was my 50th nomination. Congrats.
Sheesh.
Actually, I take that back. I don't think it was my 50th nomination. It was my 50th ranked because there was a couple maps, for example, Soulfear, that didn't get ranked even though I nominated it.
Which one was that? Adolescence?
Yeah.
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 Is that one just sitting there, or did it get?
No, it didn't get.
Um,
It actually didn't get vetoed, or anything. It was just that like some people had concerns and they wanted to discuss them, and Soulfear was just like, "No, I'm not going to discuss them. I'm leaving. Bye."
That's whole fear fashion. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
so that
about
was
right.
fun. Do you have any news half slashed?
I've got one more map to rank. It's a featured artist map. But I'm waiting on a guest difficulty, and so I'm figuring out how to get that guest difficulty.
I'm mapping it tomorrow.
I'm definitely not mapping it.
One sitting. Come on, let's go. It's one diff.
No, I'm not mapping that.
One
I
diff.
am.
Come on.
I will. I'll try not to out them here, but yes.
Is it me?
What?
Is it me?
No, it's no.
Oh,
I have
thank
never.
God.
I don't think I've asked you for a guest difficulty. I haven't mapped any Vocaloid. You're good.
Okay.
Nafi has a lot of mapping to get caught up with.
No, but since I don't know if you checked out Duck's storyboard, but you definitely should.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you definitely should, because now it's ranked and it's official, and despite people using it as like fodder for some stupid drama, we made it. So
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
That was a very strange thing.
Yeah,
'cause-
I mean, some people. I'm just saying, permanent bans are often permanent for a reason. Clemency has issues sometimes, especially when no behavioral improvements have been demonstrated. But anyways, on that note,
I'm missing a lot of context. It sounds like okay.
Oh yeah, but
I don't know how much
I
we
don't
want to
wanna-
call people out.
Yeah, I don't know how much further I want to go into that, and I can catch you up later.
Alright.
But anyways,
/snap was completely unrelated, but it was similar enough that he just randomly got dragged into a completely separate mess.
people literally, I just caught strays. That's what it was. Like, this is actual catching strays.
I think we can say like this much. Basically, there was concerns on a entirely separate map about large portions of the map being copy pasted, right? Like just copy paste flipped type of thing. And then somebody came from that, looked at half/slashed map, and was like, this 10-second segment is copy pasted from this other previous 10-second segment. And your BN on the previous set had an issue with it, and now they're nominating this map. Make it make sense.
This is like lawyer precedent.
Yes, except I didn't actually copy paste it, and so I've literally So, anyways,
okay.
Yeah.
So caught strays,
and then it was a nothing burger, and it got ranked.
Yeah, pretty much.
That storyboard because she's kind of back. Oh my god.
Hell yeah, it's so good. Like, I don't know how that, like, just, it was worth the wait. It was a long wait. It was absolutely worth it. Like, I could not have cooked something like this even if I tried, like, really hard.
I got
so good.
I've been sticking to mostly, okay, well, context here. I've been trying to play every map from 2014, at least one difficulty. And so I've not been playing any recently ranked maps, really. I've just been focused on stuff from a long time ago. So I would be playing this map if I was playing up-to-date maps, but no. But as of recently, I've been playing a lot more OSU than I have in the past, since 2016? Something like...
I mean, yeah.
My play history, you see like a flat line from 2016 to 2023, 2024, and then there's like actually consistent play after that. OSU is a fun game. Believe it or not. Mappers might not know because they don't play the game, but it's pretty fun.
Especially if you play, you're basically playing it like your childhood game. Like, everyone's got that childhood game. Everyone that's played games probably has a childhood game that they're just like, this makes me very comfortable. And then so if you played those 2014 maps, they'd give you that experience because you play maps from today and it's a totally different game. Like,
yeah, well, I wouldn't say like I don't appreciate maps today. It's not like I'm playing 2014 maps because they're better or something. It's more like I just want to. I have an arbitrary goal. I'm trying to meet my arbitrary goal.
Oh, okay.
You're right about. I do enjoy the vibe of them though. That's for sure.
I mean, some people are definitely gonna be like, "Yep, that." Like, there's a lot of mappers I talk to that are just like, "That was peak OSU," and they always rant about this, despite continuing to make maps in modern OSU and all of that. So
yeah.
Some people need to take a page out of your book and then just shut up and just play 2014 maps all day long. You can do that.
Yeah. Well, I can't be like those people because I don't make maps like 2014. It's just not in my.
You think made maps in 2014?
No, I don't. Okay,
like
sorry.
2014.
My modern maps are not designed like 2014 maps whatsoever.
No.
Is what I'm saying.
No. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's a lot of the same people that complain about that are also the same deal. And I think part of it is they're mad that they can't replicate it. They can't get their maps to be like what got them into mapping in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of. If you try to make a map like 2014, it won't really have the same effect because the context of it being in 2014 affects how you think about it while playing or something like that. So like if you make a map designed like some 2014 map, it'll just be like, well, this is kind of a normal map, I guess. Kind of low spacing, simple design, whatever. It doesn't really have the same.
I think that does apply to like really any insert like range or genre of map. Like, oh, I'm making a 2010 map. You know, it's like all hex grid or like grid snapped or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, but like without the context of it being 2010, it's not really the same.
I don't think it's
Absolutely.
purely context. I think people also just don't know how to replicate it. It was like my biggest critique of when people make things based off of a theme and then they only make the map about the theme and then nothing else. Like that was very common. It's because there's a lot of complexity that people are missing, if that makes sense. Like if you have to if there's been a huge, like, mappers tend to focus on like the visual design because it's easiest to grasp. You can just look at your eyes and you can follow design principles and you can get a result, but that will get you maybe 40% of your goal, and the rest you have to look at. It's like, okay, how are you moving, how are you tapping, and all of this. And
Very cold take on that statement.
yeah,
The axis mapping of today is the blanket mapping of yesterday, is the grid mapping of the day before that. That is my take.
oh yeah, we just rotated the grids.
Yeah.
You just
People think they're revolutionary for rotating the grid by 15 degrees. Oops.
They
sorry,
are
12
because it looks
degrees.
good.
Looks good because I can't. Okay. Anyways, hold on. I'm gonna get real toxic.
You're arguing with the VATcast logo in the top right now. Slightly.
It's like when you have maps that just like space fill or like whatever. It's making patterns.
Yeah, they didn't do that. You know what they did? You know what they did in 2014? They blanketed a lot.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
and they still had. Hold on, wait for it. Symmetry.
Oh. Wow.
On the y-axis. Holy shit!
Cool too. I think a lot of maps right now actually miss that kind of horizontal movement that forcing symmetry kind of gave to some maps.
They're also just missing wide angles generally.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. It's like, that's one of the things that people lost is they started optimizing all the cursor movement for comfort, and then they're just like, well, at least comfort while snapping and not, just going in a line, and maybe you miss it sometimes,
Very, very broad statement. So makes me wonder, do you play a lot of newly ranked maps?
Not really. I think people have done better on this. Okay. I haven't seen some things. I have an idea, but no, I'm still stuck in the 2022-2023 set of problems,
I see. I ask because I've been playing maps and I've been tagging them in laser. I don't know if you guys do that ever.
Yeah.
And one of the tags is wide angles, and you're right that I don't really tag wide angles in a lot of modern maps, but I'm sure that it feels like there's a very similar percentage of maps from 2014 that I was playing that use wide angles, and maps in modern day-ish. I would say modern day, probably like more like last year because I wasn't playing many maps this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very much the maps that stand out, the ones that are the most egregious are the wide angle, the sharp angle jump maps that everyone complains about, etc. And so it's very easy to say maps nowadays don't use enough wide angles when that is your base of comparison.
Well, my thing is, I think it's a matter of fluency. So what 2014 did really well from what I got is they didn't make it a feature, right? So I know that we were running into this problem where people are like, oh, we don't have enough wide angles. We're going to put wide angles everywhere. Oh, yeah. And then so they got things that were really like forced and uncomfortable. But the reason, I think something that was lost is, so you know how like a lot of the like lower difficulties like normals and hards, etc., are kind of patterned where you just kind of like move your cursor and like essentially in circles like around the screen. I think a lot of 2014 maps are designed with that. So when you have these like wide angle jumps, it's basically just, oh, you're just doing linear movement. It's just more space, and so people have to play them like jumps. And I think that's the mentality that doesn't get captured when people try to meet that vibe. Like, it's supposed to be this natural thing of you're going across the screen, and yeah, sometimes we'll put this like pattern in and we'll have like you move in a star or a triangle, and then other times you're moving in a circle, like a little different.
It makes total sense. Yeah. People don't want to, as someone said in chat right now, it's product of is that a product of distance snap? Sometimes, yeah, but yeah, people nowadays don't really like using distance snap like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like in general, people have just forgotten about like the linearity, or they're just like, okay, you go up to an insane, and now we're no longer doing linearity due to that gets forced due to the distance snap. Now we're just going to have you jump across the screen. It's gonna a lot of discontinuities in your movement, right? It's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, with regard to like wide angles versus sharp angles, I think probably the thing that opened my eyes the most was Uber Zolik in this regard, because he is a big believer that sharp angles are actually less comfortable to play than wide angles, at least for him. And that's just because, according to him, he just plays a bunch of wide angle maps, so that's just what he's sort of used to. And it was like a very different way of thinking about it. It's like maybe sharp angles are not inherently more comfortable, as everyone seems to believe right now, but it's actually just that because there's so many maps that are doing sharp angles, and that's what people are practicing, is perpetuating itself. And if everyone started playing wide angle jumps, then that would be seen as more comfortable.
I think we just need to go back to the old proposal of having 2 dual screen maps so you can make your jumps bigger.
So true.
Oh god. Anyways.
Osu on a widescreen monitor.
Like, I have one of my students who I teach, and sometimes I have the displeasure of seeing her entire monitor. And the reason why it's a displeasure is because it's one of those ultra wide, like semicircles, and oh my god, there's just so much space, but it's pretty cool.
Mapping on that is so terrible because like your buttons get all on the edge, and then your playfield's in the center. You need to turn your head to see it.
I play in windowed mode, which I know is cursed, so I can't relate because I hate.
No, it's fine. Window mode is necessary on a widescreen.
No, like when I updated to like Windows 10, it had this problem where it kept putting the taskbar on top of Osu no matter what. Like if it was in the editor, and the taskbar was the exact same size as the timeline.
Yeah. So here's the trick for that. Go into your task manager and restart File Explorer. And that will
Why
fix the
would I do that every time? So I just
because sometimes it just stops working. I don't know.
So I just switched to using Osu in window mode. And you know what? Life is better.
That's fair
Until
enough.
you play a fast map, and then the latency kicks your ass. But it's okay. I don't have good accuracy anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, I feel that.
Yeah. But I had a little more to say on the sharp angle thing. The reason why some people, so we also have much lower ARs, or sorry, higher ARs, so less objects on the screen than we used to. And when you do that, like snapping is it tends to be more comfortable. When the AR goes up, moving your cursor in a straight line is generally more comfortable. So like basically density goes up, linear stuff is easier. And so because of stuff like that, I think that's why we got to sharp angles being more comfortable, because if you play sharp angles in some of these like older maps, you're like, what the fuck? This is so hard to hit. Like, I don't know.
So it's related to reading in a way. Interesting.
Yes. Well, aim cannot be decoupled from reading, even though we like to pretend that it is. So.
Yeah, this is true. I find it much easier to aim things I can read.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one thing is getting your cursor there. The other thing is figuring out that you have to get your cursor there. Ooh, yep. Gameplay.
That is gameplay.
Speaking of gameplay, have you guys ever tried playing 4-key? Not Mania, but standard 4-key.
No. What?
4 keyboard keys?
Yeah, I've been playing for the last like 3 months or so with Q, W, E, and C. Just alternating all 4 keys.
Q, W, E, and C is a very...
What are you
You're
doing?
doing like full? Like, do you have to do a 4-key rotation? Like, every time?
Yeah. It works really well actually. Like I used to what happened was I had my top rank for like top PP rank was set maybe like 9 years ago. And I'm like a few months ago I'm like I'm going to grind to beat this. So then I beat it. And then I'm like I don't want to keep going like this. This is going to be really boring if I just keep grinding. I'm just going to play completely differently now. So then I started playing 4-key because Laser supports it natively. You don't need to do any like auto hotkey weird binding stuff. So I've just been doing that, and like at first it was like, wow, I can barely play hard difficulties. This is impossible. But now I can like not I can't I would not say I can stream properly, but like yesterday like I was playing the Deceit and like I can pass the Deceit 250 BPM stream without like straining my hand, which previously impossible for me. So it kind of works, and I think the more I practice it, the more I'll actually be able to I guess play like I used to.
Imagine standard players figure out this 4-key tech, how fast that we can stream then.
I mean,
just saying,
there's a small community that already knows, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how good they are. I'm not like in any. There's a 4-key Discord, but I'm not there, so I really don't know anything about it. But there are people who are way better than me at 4-key. I already know that.
Fishy Fat, question
So-
from the chat. Do you hit the C with your thumb, or do you hit the Q with your pinky?
Yes, I use my thumb on the C. It's
Okay.
ring finger, middle index, thumb. And most people I've seen try this, they use spacebar for their thumb, but I'm like, I always kept like extending my thumb out, which makes it very hard to control. So now I have my thumb, the last joint bent a little bit, and it makes it a lot easier to control.
Generally, a lot of like travel and wobble in a spacebar on a lot of
Yeah.
keyboards.
Flip.
So that one kind of sucks, spacebar, for anything that you want precision on.
I heard someone who's actually good at 4-key say that they use spacebar for their thumb, and it's like the same weight activation as any other key, so it kind of works out. But the size of the spacebar just feels really awkward. I like having a single key, and it just makes it easier for me. But like many things in OSU, it's all personal preference.
Imagine subjectivity in OSU? I've never heard of that ever.
Never.
Never.
What difficulty were you playing on the Deceit? Did you pass
Oh,
your own, or are you
my own
passing?
difficulty, yeah.
Okay, nice.
I'm not nowhere near good enough to pass Mazarins. It's not happening.
Hey, I mean, a 4-key is supposed to let you do things that previously were not possible.
Give me a year, then maybe. We'll see. When I have the PP record, DT and Mazarin stuff, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty fun, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. So I lost my question. Somebody help.
I believe in you, White.
What? We can't find that one for you, man.
We can encourage you.
So while White thinks of his question, I just want to say everybody should play all of the latest ranked Vocaloid maps, because we had our previous golden era of 2011 through 2012, and now we're having our golden era of 2023 through now. So like, you should play all of them. Thanks.
I think we're on track to have the most ranked Vocaloid maps in a year
ever
already.
Yeah,
like ever.
Really? Wow.
This year. I don't know if you actually, Pishy, you know like nothing about like the whole VAT thing, but we have a database, like a Google Sheet database of every single ranked Vocaloid map and loved across all of OSU's history.
all of them.
Like
set that up. Yeah.
Yeah, we went through all of them manually. It actually wasn't me. I didn't do it. So it was like Nafi and Kurois and X-Course, I think were the three primary ones that did it. And they went through every single year. And even if it wasn't tagged properly with Vocaloid, we found them.
We found them.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually way more trustworthy than the actual tag system in the OSU website.
Right.
So on the day that Fishy Fat, that you wake up and you convince Peppy on your next visit to add configurable metadata files, I already have my list of all the Hatsune Miku artists to fix.
I'll bring it up with him. I remember something distinctly from the Fat episode with Peppy where he's like, I don't like Vocaloid. I thought that
Yeah.
was really funny to hear like
Yeah.
after this whole podcast. I can't say I share the same thing. Vocaloid's pretty cool.
It's a polarizing thing, I feel like. But
Yeah,
it's not for
I only
everyone.
heard it for the first time when I started playing Osu. So before that, I
Yeah.
did not know what it was. So it was like in the same era, I learned what like Toho music was. I also learned what Vocaloid was, and so much of it was on Osu that I'm not going to be like, I never want to listen to any of these. So I don't know if it's an acquired taste. I acquired it for sure.
Hell yeah.
Heck
Oh yeah.
There's still so many Vocaloid stuff that needs to get ranked. Goodness. And we need more
Yeah.
featured artists. Let's go.
Okay, well, good news. In 4 minutes,
Oh no.
Oh,
Spoilers.
shit, there's another
4
one.
minutes.
Damn,
What
we're fine.
spoilers? What the hell?
sorry, spoiling 4 minutes from now. Everyone's gonna look. Guys, keep your front page open.
Oh no.
Hit that refresh button, guys.
Yep.
Well,
In 4 minutes.
until RD Sounds is, you know, I'm not gonna be holding my breath. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. Still waiting.
I
for the
was so surprised. I started playing this bubble shooter game called QQQ Beats, which is the same as like Toho Spell Bubble. And it had an RD Sound song in it. I was like, huh? I haven't seen that name in a long time. Like, it used to be, like, you would see so much of that artist in, like, 2018 on Osu, and now, I don't, yeah,
I mean,
where'd they go?
China Land got a commission from them.
They're still there. It's just that, you know, I think people were just inspired by Sanai-san, and that's why everyone started Sanai-san and like the 09 Kami one, like those songs, right? Like people just go like, we're like, all right, this is the thing, and so everyone just started mapping like crazy around that time. I'm also guilty. In fact, I never left.
What?
So-
You're still here? That's crazy.
Oh God, I know. I wake
Thank
up every
you.
day and I think about that. I'm like, wow, I'm still here.
One of these days you'll be gone forever. And we won't even know
Oh man.
what we lost. Goodness.
Ooh, well, And we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Need Aelv back. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
No, that's it. It's Aelv.
It's Aelv. Okay, yeah. We need more Kame-sama no Utuba.
Oh man, yeah, no. Aelv is definitely on greener pastures. Last I heard, playing Yu-Gi-Oh TCGs or something.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh and some other TCGs. Yeah.
I wish I had that much endurance to map the same song
How many times?
that many times.
I totally butchered the name now that I look at it. But 1, 2, 3,
8,
4,
no,
5,
6.
6. Yeah, 6 times. 6 ranked.
Yeah.
The same.
Aelv saved that song for me. I still remember because I'd actually mapped actually mapped that song. I can't even remember its name anymore. Saifu. Yeah, Saifu Kamiyasabi no Uta. I mapped that. Right. Actually, and applied to mentorship with that map, right?
Oh.
And so I had a version of that song, and I got to see, and then I saw Mirage rank his, and it was like Mirage's first map, and I'm like, I hated Mirage forever when I saw that. And then
No.
Mirage just started making goated maps, and I'm just like, you're my goat. That was an experience.
It's so funny when like your perspective of somebody is like changed by like one map that they made, and then
Yeah.
either you have to like come to terms with like how do I reconcile these feelings, or like you just hate them forever and you never give them another chance.
Reconciliation always happens. I still remember triggering Uber Zolik so hard that he actually became a mapper, like with my first ranked map. So I get it. I totally get
Uber
it.
Zolik became a mapper because he hated your map?
Yeah. He saw Kizuwato, and I'm like, this makes me so mad. I love this song, and this man just fucking butchered it with this fucking style. I'm just gonna map.
No, like no joke. That's so real though. Like I feel like most of my songs, like maps are like kind of related to that whole idea. Oh no.
Like someone maps some dog shit, and you're like, I gotta let them know. I gotta make my own maps.
I mean, dog shit is like a very strong word.
But that's what people are thinking, you know? Like,
oh goodness.
I
Oh
can't
goodness.
relate.
No.
You're too nice, Nafi.
No,
Yeah.
I can't relate.
Nafi is pure. Nafi is just like, I like these songs. I make map.
No, I've already told this story, but like one day, you know, I was reading my I was like, oh my god, I really love this map by Chrism, and I was reading his profile, and he had like this whole essay on how mapping was like dancing, and I was like, that's so cool. And yeah, it's gone now, but you could probably find it in web archive somewhere.
Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. Happy
Happy
thoughts.
thoughts. But anyways,
We're not
we
the
have
same.
news.
What about you, Pishy? How'd you get in? How'd you get into mapping?
I'm gonna have
How
to
did I get-
stop you guys on this train
No!
of thought. We'll come back to
No!
it. The news.
Better.
The news is here. It's out.
Oh, with 4 minutes.
Yeah,
It's been 5
it's
minutes.
5 o'clock.
All right, who is it? Who is it?
2. Who are they?
Two of
Who are
them.
they?
Who
Take a
are
guess.
they?
This.
Both start with M. Both have 6 characters.
Yeah. There's a lot of like symmetry. There's so much symmetry in this news post. It's crazy.
The videos are almost the exact same.
Holy
True.
shit,
Two
Vocaloid.
featured artists.
Oh my
It's so
god.
cool.
Oh my god, Vocaloid again! Holy shit, double
Holy
Vocaloid!
shit.
Okay. Wait, this is your news post. Okay.
Yeah,
You're
What's
announcing the feature artist. What the fuck?
I did.
Because White did the white thing and found some really cool musicians that were like, yeah, if we can work this out, you can use all of our songs. Or a lot of our songs.
The weird part was like Maritu. Like obviously I've contacted Maritu before because they're such a popular artist, but I got no response. And then White does, and then I reach out afterwards, being like, "Yo, you did this thing with White. Can we license your music?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." I'm like, "Okay." Ignore my last emails, but that's fine.
I'm just
You
so
don't
good.
even need
Yeah.
to do. You don't even need to be the featured artist guy anymore. Apparently, you could just contract out the vocaloiding to White, and he'll just do it.
Right.
You know.
Well, for real, that's what I
Like-
told him.
I mean, it's just like remember the Osu jet's not gonna happen, but the White jet is. That's a little different.
White Jet is here
That
already.
is
yeah.
happening.
White
right
Jet
now.
is here. White Jet is in his backyard right now. Like,
So this contest is really cool because not only did we get 2 featured artists, but you have to have a friend or your
Yeah.
sworn enemy and unlock all of your mapping prowess by collaborating with them.
Yep.
Oh
It's
my
it's a
God, my
very
sworn enemy.
experimental approach. So I'm very curious to see if it works. But I wanted something that had like the whole, we have 2 featured artists, so it's kind of like the duet. And Maritu is kind of known for the Hatsune Miku stuff, and Mimizu does a lot of Kasanai Teto,
Ooh.
right? So, and those are like the 2 Vocaloids of this year, right? Of like the last like year or 2. So
Geppetto.
so yeah.
You know, wait. So I still don't understand. Why did Teto blow up so hard this year? Because like Teto's been around forever.
Around 2.5 years ago, she got an updated voice bank that can easily create hyper-realistic singing, so she became a lot more accessible for people to use for any genre of music. And if people still like her scratchy, adorable robotic voice bank, they can just download the old one for free and still use that. So you got a lot of flexibility, and she was already a beloved character, so when people are like, oh my god, I can use her even better, then a lot of people did.
Yeah, she's
Cool.
very accessible for sure.
Mhm.
So White, I don't like reading. Can you explain how this contest works?
Sure. So basically, you have to find a friend or an enemy, as Nafi said, a frenemy, if you will, and then you pick a song from one of the 2 featured artist listings. So you go to like Maritu's featured artist listing, you go to Mimizu's featured artist listing, and one person on each team will map a song, right? So if, say, me and Nafi teamed up, I would map a song for Marutu, and she would map a song for Mimizu, and we submit that at the end of this period, right? On November 9th. We submit that map. Then we have to swap the song that we're mapping. So I would go and map the song that Nafi chose the first round, and Nafi would map the song that I chose the first round. And the goal there, the idea there, is that when you remap it, you have to take a very different approach. And what this will force you to do is think about who you're teaming up with. Because if you team up with somebody who has a very similar style or approach to mapping as you, it'll be more difficult to do this. So it forces people to really think about who they're teaming up with. And I think it'll hopefully result in really interesting maps where we're not going to see like two really generic maps. We're going to see maps that have very unique and different approaches with the goal being to make them very distinct. Now, what I was thinking about that is like, okay, so then you just always team up with somebody who's the polar opposite. So how do we make it so that you actually have to team up with somebody that you can work with? And that's where that final round comes in. If you do well in that swap round, you have to team up with that person that you mapped, that you were teamed up with previously, and you have to map a collaboration difficulty. So that actually is going to force you to pick somebody who you can map distinctly from and that you can work closely with to create a collaborative difficulty that is cohesive. So it's kind of a big part of this is picking a good teammate. Very, very much so.
I should not team up with somebody that was on the winning team or the top three teams of the OBWC. Got it.
But you should team up, and you should. And Pishy Fat should, and I should, and White can't. Actually, I can't either. And you should enter.
I did not add you as a judge yet because I figured you would be, but I haven't asked you yet. So
we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I didn't ask anyone to be a judge yet because I wanted people to have the opportunity to look and see if they wanted to participate first. So the judging panel will come soon. Yeah, and then we're gonna be live streaming it. So. First live stream is going to be with the swap phase of things when all that's done. And then the top 6 teams are going to go on to the final round where they're going to have to do the collaboration stuff. It's going to be on a different artist and different songs, which have not been announced yet. So don't be afraid that like, oh, I'm going to have to map another Mimizu or another Marutu thing because it's going to be a completely different song in genre and everything. So you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. So yeah, did I answer all your questions, Pishy Fat?
I had one question and you answered it. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and then Pishy Fat made some cool videos.
Oh yeah,
As he does.
Those were surprising because I was like, what's going in the video slot on the news post? And White tells me, your video is. I'm like, oh wait, I didn't make a video. I gotta do that. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like just assumed that you would do a video because it's like a featured artist thing and you always do a video. So
right, but I mean, usually I also always do the news post. So I'm like, I pair the two together.
Yeah, right.
We're prepared for your Sunday.
It's always like a fun little collaboration, working with you on these things. And it's a pain in the ass for, I'm sure, you in particular.
Oh, I was pretty hands off this time. The first 2, yeah, I did a lot more, but this one,
yeah,
Walla handled most of it.
Walla's the goat.
Thank you, Walla.
Definitely the goat. And Pishy Fat's the goat too for actually getting Marutu and Mimizu all sorted out. Because while I did do the outreach and stuff, and managed to get them interested, the legal stuff is definitely handled by Pishy Fat as far as I know. So
yeah, it was complicated because you gave me like 15 artists, and I'm like, I'm not going to reach out to every artist at the same time. This will be a mess. So it was a very gradual process, and we ended up getting 2 decent artists here for this contest?
More than decent.
Okay. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Cool.
it's very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting. I'm really hoping that this contest does well. It does require quite a bit of effort on the part of the mappers, and I think I gave you guys enough time. Like it's 5 weeks for one diff, basically, per person for the first round. Which I think is more than enough, like, realistically. So hopefully we see some cool stuff coming from this.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our sponsor. Now let's get back to Pishy Fat.
White's gonna have a lot of Discord server announcements to post when we're.
True. Whoops.
My
okay.
pass.
Yeah, no.
How
In
far are we
particular,
going?
how'd you get into mapping? Nothing too deep. Just
Okay.
we want to
Half
know
class?
how'd you do it.
How did I get into mapping?
Yeah.
So, are you familiar with ring-a-ting?
Background cue
Yes.
guy.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he's just a friend of mine since elementary school, and he started mapping first. He showed me Osu, back in the day, and he started mapping. He made very very different style from anything that I'd seen. He's very much like a logic man guy. So he made pure symmetry, pure right angle, pure triangle, etc. kind of maps. And he's like, you should try mapping too. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll make something. And I made like the ugliest, messiest stuff possible because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was not interested in like the rigid structure that he was going for. But unlike him, I decided I want to try to rank a map. And so I posted on modding queues and stuff like that, and I realized how much how complicated this is. And I had a very big ego at the time. I was like, this should be easy, right? This ranking map stuff. My maps are great. And for context, I'd been playing Osu for like 2 months when I started mapping, so I did not know anything about what I was doing. I could barely play my own maps, and they were like 4 stars. So I really tried to get it going. I was one of those people who got like 20 mods on my first map, and the map was trash afterwards anyway. And I kind of just repeated that until I made something that was kind of rankable. And it only became rankable because the BAT became the BN. It was something else at the time, different name first, but became what is now known as the BN. So the standards were a lot looser, and I got some nominators who were willing to actually rank my map. And it's all been uphill or downhill from there, depending on your perspective.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So you basically were just like, you had your buddy in mapping. You joined cause you had your buddy in mapping, and then you're like, I'm gonna gap my buddy, and so you did.
Something like that. It wasn't about competition with him. It was more like I just had a different goal completely. I really wish back in the day that he wanted to rank his maps too, because I thought it'd be so cool to, have like my best friend be also like a collab partner guy. But no, he's instead went to being the background guy, as you said. So instead of modding maps, he modded backgrounds. This is in the
I'm guessing he's just big into like graphic design type stuff.
Not really, actually. No. He's a computer
He just
science
thought
guy.
everyone's backgrounds were shit.
Yeah, he would. Well, what happened was like he would download a map and be like, "Why is this like 4x3, 800 by 600 background on my map? I want to get something better." So then he'd. This was in the time when like reverse image searching was pretty new, so he'd go back and find like the original source and then do some modifications if it needed to be a different aspect ratio, stuff like that. And he'd do that just for his own sake. And at some point, he also like decided to make a modding queue. Maybe I had something to do with that. I don't really remember the past that well, but he made a modding queue so people could post their maps and be like, "My background is this. Can you make it better?" And he'd do his magic, Nowadays, like you look at some backgrounds and you're like, why is that a thing? I think, but it's interesting how much of an impact he had also. Like you look at Tomei Elegy, like a super, super popular map, you'll find like ring-a-ting in the description. It's very weird to do that or to see that.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, I mean, like, I knew about Ringing even before you started making your videos. Like, and you give him the shout every now and then, right? So yeah, he was quite impactful. And just like the MP3 sound quality people loading up the spec diagrams and stuff, it's just like,
Oh yeah,
those technical details really matter for people, and they make up. They do make the game better, but they sure make everyone else's life hell in the process, because
Yeah.
upholding that standard is hard.
Yeah, well, there wasn't any background standard at the time, at least. It was more like, a lot of the time what would happen was I'd mod a map and I'd be like, hey Chris, this background sucks. Can you fix it up a little bit? Then after I'd mod, he'd just post something like, hello, I have a new background for you. So similar to the MP3 people, but a little less forceful.
That's still good. That's the way to
Yeah.
approach it, instead of being like, your file sucks. Here's like this marginally better one that nobody will tell the difference.
Right.
Here's
Yeah,
a file
people
that's
can
like
usually see
2
background
kilobits smaller.
differences.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, file size. Okay, file size is like depressing, because it's just like some of it comes from people that are in countries that have god awful internet, so it's like very practical. It's like, hey, compress your shit. Like, you don't like this shouldn't be as big as it is. This is blow. But it's just like, come on, like, you have to understand why this thing. The attitude around it is the annoying part. It's just like, some of that disgust is going towards the person that didn't check the thing because of their context, and there wasn't enough like understanding here of just like, they're in a place that doesn't worry about this, so they need a reminder. Because, and it's like, yeah, forcing this standard on everyone, it's like, it would be better if the automation, like the tools in OSU, helped you detect this type of thing, but they don't. So you have this kind of debacle. So it's just like, what's the real problem here? It's just like, if we're gonna optimize all this stuff, we should be checking for it automatically. Blah blah blah. But I don't know. I'm just rambling at that point.
I mean, Mapset Verifier does check a little bit, but it's kind of just like, this is exceeding the guidelines. It's probably too big.
Every single OTG file ever.
Anyone remember Modding Assistant before we even had Mapping Verifier, or just like AI mod, which was Peppy's attempt to do? Like, that's kind of the thing. It's just like look at all this automation that other people have to take into their own hands to get the quality of this stuff to be where it should be. It's like,
yeah,
that's what makes OSU great.
Another one of those fixed and laser moments.
Yeah.
Soon
there was actually some notable laser updates recently, actually. The whole version, like revision history they added to laser. Pretty cool.
Is that in at this point?
Yeah.
It's like, is-ish?
It is, but you have to upload the map in laser, and if you upload it from stable, it removes the revision history. So you have to, like, once you upload it in stable, it has to stay in stable, basically, for the revision history to stay.
Laser.
You mean laser?
Oh, yeah,
So
sorry.
it's a not backwards compatible addition. My programmer senses are tingling, like that's BS, but whatever.
What's interesting is it apparently goes back as far as Beatmap submission has been on laser. So that's neat.
I've never submitted map on laser aside from testing for video stuff.
So you can
this is essentially just like,
this is the guy who made the freaking map in laser contest and hasn't mapped in laser.
Yeah. So actually,
I
because it's like,
hey,
this is one of the things that makes OSU cool. Of like, people will just make all this extra tooling to compensate for what doesn't exist. And Pitchy, actually, on that, you are one of those people. That Mappers Guild website became just the like BN management site and all of this stuff. Like, how did you get into this? Like, how did this stuff start?
How did this stuff start? Well, the source, it goes back a long time. Anime Expo 2017 was the first time I met Peppy, and I was nobody basically. Well, I had been making mapping videos, but that's kind of it. And we didn't really talk about that much. I did not say anything related to Mappers Guild or anything like that. But at some point after that, he reached out to me and was like, I have this vision for featured artists that there is one day where we have mappers mapping stuff for featured artists and musicians reaching out to become featured artists and all that. And this was the time where there were like 5 featured artists, so it was very, very small. And he said, you seem like you're in touch with mapping stuff. Can you try to make something happen with this? And that's where Mappers Guild came in. It was also with NyQuil, who surprisingly is around still. He was at COE this year. Me and him kind of teamed up and conceptualized this MMO style Mappers Guild thing. And it was originally like a very exclusive group. It was high profile mappers at the time. Who was it? Like
you had Johnson, you had Mirash, you had like Delis, you had
you know it better than me.
I forgot who else. Those are the ones I remember. But I think Natsu did actually end up in that first cup, but I can't remember.
The first one was only 5 people plus me, and Natsu wasn't there. Natsu was in like the second or third round. But there were many rounds of this going on where we'd basically like invite more people and invite.
You had
people.
LFJ, you had Handsome.
Handsome, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you forget Handsome? How do we forget Handsome?
I don't know.
Is that where we're at? Like, we've gone so far past that we forgot Handsome? Like, holy shit.
The name change threw me off. I can't do it.
Hee.
Like, but yeah, so
he would have liked that too. So
eventually this thing expanded in scope so much that it's like we were running it through a spreadsheet, and it's like this is bad. And we want everyone was also complaining like, how did these people get badges for doing something that is private? This is inappropriate. So then very soon after that, it's like, well, it's public now. Anyone can do it. And
you just have to meet these very strenuous requirements, like 10
I just had to.
It was 3.
It was 3.
No, it started as 10, and then 3 came later.
Oh. So the thing you're talking about was like we had some criteria for who could join in the invite only stage. For the public stage, it was 3. But prior to that, we were kind of like, well, you need some experience. We'll give you some experience having ranked maps, some experience for having these people kind of say this person should join, etc. Like mix of voting and experience. Yeah.
I still just remember being on the other side of like, you must be 10 feet tall to ride, like sort of a thing. Like that was
it was very like very exclusive to the point of making people angry like that. Yeah, no, I understand totally. Which is why it's public now. Anyone can do it. No ranked map requirements anymore, but it took a while to get there. And I think the slow rollout was kind of helpful for me because like if we go from one day it's a private thing on a spreadsheet to the next day it's a public thing where anyone can participate, I don't know if I would have handled it very well because I am not a web developer by trade. I learned to develop websites specifically to make Mappers Guild, which means it's very jank.
I mean, you're a web developer because anyone that's actually good at web development just learn how to do websites just like that. Like they were like, we needed something and it didn't exist, so we learned and made it, and that's what you did. So you're a web developer.
Hell yeah. My resume.
You just didn't get a job with it yet, but you could.
Sure. Well, I know no coding practices, so hopefully I don't get a job with it. I'd ruin someone else's website.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Working in industry, these people do not like you sometimes, but
great.
But yeah, it's like everyone starts somewhere. It's like, and usually the people that are making something, even if it's like not up to whatever standards, are more useful than because they can learn the standards. But the people that only know the standards and don't make anything are actually useless, because then they just complain all day and they get nothing done, and they're in a drain on whatever resources funneling into them. So
yeah, I'm glad I started making website pre-AI, because if there was AI when I started, it probably would have tried using it, and it probably would not have learned as much.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, okay, wait, back on Mappers Guild. How did this all come to be? I kind of covered it. I'm not sure if I have anything else to comment on that.
Yeah, and would you say like this, like, because I feel like you essentially got the call from God moment, like, because Pepe's the god of Osu, right? And so, you essentially got the call from God moment to create Mappers Guild, and now you've kind of like crossed a threshold that I was talked about in my interview with Ephemeral of like it's very hard for people to make the threshold to actually being able to influence the game on a large scale like you currently can, because it was in the time of like Ephemeral and Locktab or whatever. It's like you were active users on the forums, you argued with Pepe because he was checking with them, and you would be able to influence the game on like large scales. And now it's like that's very, very inaccessible, but you made the leap. So what do you think about that, I guess?
Yeah, I very much understand this mindset, and I think it's like a mindset that comes about from Osu being a lot bigger than it used to be. Because, as you said, you could argue with Pepe back in the day. I don't think I was around in that time necessarily. Like, it was just more coincidence that I got the call from God, as you say. But I think, people think about Osu a little bit more as like a AAA title nowadays, even though, like, if you look behind the scenes at all, it's absolutely not. But that just idea that Osu is such a big game, how could I, as an individual, do anything? It seems much more common now than it was back in the day, and I don't really know how to. I guess convince people to break out of that mindset. It's
That was
very
actually something that Pepe himself mentioned.
Oh yeah,
was that he noticed that as well, how there's just less people like, I guess, like contributing in the same way that they used to. And it's harder to find people to like fill in gaps or like start up new initiatives and that kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, there are some people who do it. Like we were just talking about Walla. Walla is definitely doing a lot of that right now, but it's very much a needle in a haystack kind of thing. And if you don't find the needle, then, or if the needle doesn't find its way out of the haystack somehow, it's a weird analogy here, then it's hard to really get new people into the mix. And like, I don't know, like I've been around a long time and I'm not like disappearing anytime soon. So it probably seems like I'm just a anomaly in that way. But I think it was very common for people to be doing stuff very, very actively that have larger impacts on the game a long time ago. And yeah, I don't really know how to change that aside from just telling people to do stuff.
I want to give you 3 examples of, I guess, how some of this can come about. So if I mention mentorship, courses, and even the VMC community, like if we look at these, all of these are like volunteers are putting in massive amounts of efforts towards like making this thing. I guess they're putting a lot of life into the game, but this type of thing doesn't get like the mentorship has gotten the attention, I guess, after being around for like 5 years, or now it's closer to a decade. But
yeah, it's pretty close to a decade.
It takes a long time for this stuff to get noticed, and usually people are not around long enough, or they lose interest before that. So, like, what do you think on that? I guess it's like that gap between these like huge community-run projects towards working on the internal stuff.
That this might not answer your question, but it made me think of something else. It's scale. So people have a lot of expectations for scale. So for Mappers Guild, for example, it started out as just literally a Discord group. There was nothing else to it. It was very, very small. But for these things like Courses or mentorship, as you're talking about, they require a lot of people to make it work, and a lot of people have to both be dedicated to a project and be interested long term, as you said. And that's a hard thing to accomplish when it's multiple people involved. I think what helps a lot is being able to downsize the scale of things, and if you have like an idea, being able to execute it with the fewest amount of moving parts seems like the best way to do it, I would say. So like the initial Mappers Guild was me and NyQuil. Web development was me and Milan. that it's kind of I can't imagine how this would work if there were like 20 people trying to make Mappers Guild, because it'd just be a lot of things to consider that would slow things down. And
bureaucracy. Woo!
Yeah. And bureaucracy makes it sound like we're going to be filling out forms and doing surveys and all that, which I hope that wouldn't happen, but it's more like I don't know. I don't like talking.
Groups,
I don't want to have to talk through everything.
As groups get really big, it becomes like harder for them to adapt and be flexible and things. Like I've definitely noticed that with even like say the BNG, right? As the BNG has grown to well over 100 standard nominators, it's sort of harder to get change. Like things feel less personal and more of going back to our earlier in the show where we talk about like how people just nominate like checkboxes, right? It's like, oh, all the unrankables are taken care of. Let me just nominate it regardless of whether I like the map. I think you kind of end up in that situation maybe in part because of the size of the group. It's much harder to say make sure that people are nominating things they actually care about and want. You get a lot of that bureaucracy and sort of corporateness to it.
Yeah, I mean, bureaucracy is like it's not necessarily all the time bad. It's just the necessary result of coordinating a bunch of people to get something done. Like you just pay the tax on process. Because if you don't have process, then eventually you just can't get the thing that you want done.
It's very counterintuitive though. Like you'd think, oh, more people makes it easier to get something done, but from my experience, especially with those two things, it's the exact opposite. You just need fewer people to actually accomplish something.
It's very hard to find those people too.
The investment thing is also a thing of like, most of the people that are contributing to this stuff, they're college students or something, and then it's just so first of all, they're still like growing up or whatever, and then they also have their other obligations, and eventually they lose interest. Like I used to say that an OSU cycle lasted about like 2 to 3 years, and then after that you have an entirely new set of contributors. I don't know if that's still true, but at least that pattern was holding pretty consistent while I was around. So it's like then it's very rare to see someone that's like around through enough of these cycles to be like, oh hey, yeah, in cycle 2 this happened because we're on cycle 7 now, and so this mistake was already repeated, and that type of thing. So
yeah, I remember I made a mapping video back in the day of literally talking about these cycles, and that was in 2017, so it's like that was just me experiencing my first cycle basically, and now I've seen so many more cycles, and it's like it holds true today, I would say.
So, and it's just that transient population that's doing that, and that is what it is. I don't think it's a good or a bad thing. It's just it is that. But so I guess so I kind of agree with you on you need you really want to get something done, like you do it with less people. And then the problem is the scaling of people expect these things to scale, but it doesn't really. The thing is with the smaller scale stuff, getting noticed by Peppy or whatever, very hard to do. And even with large scale stuff, it'll get noticed, but there's still it's you'll eventually those projects will eventually scale to the point where they need support from the game and they don't get them. And what I've seen happen with a lot of volunteers is we'll get to that point and then they essentially get starved because they're trying to do something they no longer have the means to do on themselves, and they don't get help until it's too late sometimes or at all. And then that's when people become disinterested and they don't want to participate in volunteering for the game, and the cynicism starts to form. So what do you think about things like that?
Yeah. Well, using my own perspective here, it's like if there was a time where we were running Mappers Guild through the spreadsheet and we're like, when are the developers going to implement this thing to the official OSU website? That's what we're waiting for. Like NyQuil, he was still I don't think he wasn't a web developer, but he was kind of a laser developer, pre-laser alpha or whatever. I don't even know, but he was kind of in the inner circle, and he was telling me yeah, we're gonna eventually get this on the website, and I was like, that's awesome. If I continued waiting for that to happen, then Mappers Guild would die for sure.
Yep.
The scale here, though, like, I was able to personally manage the scale, but I know I was a college student with a lot of spare time. I can't expect everyone else to be like, yeah, I'm just going to learn how to develop a website to keep my Osu project running. It's a little too much effort. And yeah, I don't really know how people will deal with that, except for making their ideas a manageable scale and not succumbing to the pressure that the community puts on them. But that's a hard thing to do because the pressure that the community puts on them is also pressure they're putting on themselves, because people want to make their ideas bigger and better, especially when you have years and years of history of Osu projects to compare your project to. And so I guess if we're thinking 10 years ago, was it easier to have actual influence on the game? Yeah, probably, because it was easier to have an idea that didn't balloon out of proportion based on expectations from the community. And yeah.
I mean, I think that's a big aspect of it is, now say you want to make a tournament. Well, you are now competing against Corsace and the Perennial and all that stuff. And at some point, even those tournaments end up getting too big to some degree, right? So
I feel like that's what happened to Corsace.
There's a scaling issue in general that requires a lot of people, and you have to have the right people, and even just one person that is not right can really cause it coming down. But people expect bigger and better every time. And realistically, people who are hosting it don't want to do the same thing every time either. So,
yeah, like, hear me out. Fat, spelled P-H-A-T. PCFat hosts a tournament. I am the map pooler. I make every custom map. I'm the commentator. I do literally every job. From there, I have to scale up. But then I'd be able to see what is the bare minimum to make a tournament run. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun idea, just as like a experiment to see what is actually needed to go into a tournament. Whether it resolves the scale issue, I don't think it would, but it would be an interesting thought experiment. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
real experiment.
Minimum viable tournaments get run all the time. Like that it's actually been solved. It's just that that's not good enough. Like, people want Osu to be an esport when it will never be an esport. Like, I think that it's people's dreams getting in the way in this case, really. Like, they want something that's at odds with the developers' wishes because they have put so much time into it. And sometimes it burns people out. So, but it's like, when you burn people out like this, you lose their contributions to the game. So what's more, I guess, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point, but
no, we're trying to find a solution to one of the biggest problems in Osu. It's going to be hard to just come up with the answer, So I wouldn't expect you to have the answer on you right now.
I mean,
fair.
To some degree,
I've thought about it a bunch, but I've not figured
discussions are hard to have. Like, even like I run into this recently because I made a ranking criteria proposal, and it seems like most people are into the idea, but where do you go from there, right? now there's bureaucracy of like, how exactly do you write the proposal? How many people are enough? Like, how many opinions do we need before we can put it through? How much weight do we put on the dissenting opinions? So, like, yeah, it's tricky to get things done, honestly.
Yeah, the ranking criteria stuff. I don't really know how it's run now. I think Oko handles most of it, but the way I used to do it was, I had the mission of making the ranking criteria subform empty, so there are no pending threads, basically. So as soon as I see a discussion die out, it's gonna sound really bad. I'd go in and be like, well, do I agree with it? Do the people have points that are agreeable? Yeah, okay. If people disagreed, I'd be like, okay, denied, and I just leave it like that. And then if it came up again, then go through the same process. And there have been many times where I denied something, and then a few years later it'd come up, and then it would get accepted. So I don't know. If if we're looking for, is the difference of, or okay, wait. If the goal is to make progress in some way, then that would work. If the goal is to avoid stagnation, that would work. But if the goal is to find the absolute best solution, then we have to deal with both slow progress and stagnation.
I would say it's definitely not finding the best solution because, you know, if you want to get into it, like my proposal is basically getting rid of the large spread gaps in low diffs. So no longer would you have to worry about, oh, this normal is too easy compared to this hard diff, which is too hard. Now I need an advanced diff to bridge that gap. Getting rid of that, because I think that's a silly thing, and it seems like most people agree that that's silly. Now, what people don't agree on, like unanimously or anything like that, is whether that should apply to higher diffs, because a lot of people think that it should apply to higher diffs, where we should get rid of it for higher diffs, or at least for certain higher diffs. Maybe insane to extra doesn't need it, but maybe you need it beyond the extra. I don't know. That's what there's more discussion on, and I'm like, okay, so we can have that discussion later. Let's get this low diff stuff implemented and see how that goes. So that's kind of where it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've not looked at this,
Yeah,
obviously.
and I'm just like, I still remember, like, Pishy, I'm sure you remember the beat nights, like the United Beat Nights of the ranking criteria. Like, that was, this is your scale thing. It's like, straight up, we got shit done. We overhauled the ranking criteria, we put the changes in place, and they stayed in place, and it happened in relatively short order. And now it's like, Oko has rebooted the same effort, and he was one of the, like, beat nights, like, he's like, in fact, probably the beat night, and tried to do the same thing again, and it's just like a bunch of shit got stalled out, and it's what seems like infinitum. Like, these working groups, like, they took months to reach a conclusion, and then it's like we still didn't actually get their changes, even after they did figure it out. Like, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah, but you need like a working group that's small enough that things can actually happen, respected enough that people will respect the ultimate decision who are not in that group, and who have the power to actually implement it. You kind of need all three of those aspects.
I guess right then there's like, I think, how do you even choose to respect?
Right now, exactly. That's a hard part in its own, right? Like, how do you choose the NAT? Who's in the NAT? You know, like that's hard.
Yeah, and every fucking time people get added, it doesn't matter like who they are. They just like at least half the list is getting flamed for random crap. You know, like just. You just get flamed because you weren't friends with the people flaming you, you know?
Yeah, but it's challenging because you got to know the right people, but you don't necessarily know who the right people are, and there may not be one person who has the keys that you need to get things done. So now you need to get like 20 people on your side,
and it's about agree. But we're only resorting to mob dynamics because we still don't know how to pick the right people. Like, it's still, I mean, college kids are not picking the right people, and that's, by and large, the people that are invested in this community for pushing things forward like this. So, like, yeah. So, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
There's no winning.
Do you have any more positive topics, Wyatt? I'm crying over here.
Why are you crying?
I'm not actually crying, but it's more of like, I don't know. There's no solution to this. It feels like we're stuck.
Yeah.
Kind of ranting on.
Ranting. Yeah, it's classic Osu dynamics, right? So Pishy, what can you tell us a little bit about like what the process is to actually get a featured artist? Like what behind the scenes, what happens?
Complicated question because I don't know the direction we'll go continuously, but I can tell you how it kind of works right now. So there was a time during COVID where Osu had a lot of people playing, a lot of people buying supporter. So that's when Osu had a lot of big artists coming in, where we were able to basically do outreach and get not like anything, because Osu is still not able to get stuff from like Universal and whatnot, but we were able to get stuff from relatively larger artists, especially artists in the rhythm game scene. And that process was basically sending a lot of cold emails, and seeing what stuck. So like sometimes you get a response months or even years later, and you'd have a discussion about licensing. It's you're asking a question that's like there's no exciting answer. It's really just a lot of emails back and forth. And then at some point you reach an agreement and you decide, okay, we're going to formalize this with some paperwork, signature on the dotted line, and you go from there. You do the stuff that you're probably familiar with. You write a news post, you write some bio stuff, you put some stuff on those website for templates and whatnot. And yeah, that's basically it. And then what's happened more recently is Osu does not have COVID money, so it's a lot less outreach, a lot more if artists want to. A lot of artists reach out and be like, we can kind of give you your music. A lot of artists reach out wanting to give music to just have the music on the Osu listing without the same compensation that you get from like a giant music label or whatever. And so that's kind of how it works right now. Maybe one day COVID 2025 will come out and
no,
Osu
no.
will be back in the
No,
game.
Wait, hold on.
no.
I think that one might actually kill us all.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't happen. But you know, for Osu, it wouldn't be as bad as it would be for humanity. Let's just put it that way.
Oh yeah,
That's so cursed. That's so
Sacrifice
cursed.
it.
I think we're talking about more
Sacrifice.
positive topics here.
Yeah, I
like,
No, we're gonna sacrifice.
Yeah, like
Can
Fishy
we
Fat.
go back
Let's
to
go more
Napi's-
positive
Napi's, like-
topics. And Fishy Fat just writing off
Yeah.
the entire world
yeah,
for
can
a
we go
paycheck.
back to Napi's like mapping journey here? That one's like full of rainbows and sunshine. Like
I have something to ask about actually.
Yeah.
So, as you know, back in the day, I used to make mapping videos, right? And I've been thinking, okay, now I'm realizing the intro to this is very negative, but it has a positive outcome. I've been thinking like
Okay.
the world kind of sucks. I don't really like a lot of stuff going on. I want to make
Hell
mapping
yeah.
videos again. This sounds
hell
fun.
yeah, he's one of us. All right, go on.
Cynicism.
So I've thought about like I want to make mapping videos. How do I do it again and not have I don't know, there's just a weird set of expectations for someone coming back to doing something they used to do. And so at this point it's like I had this idea a long time ago. This isn't like some fresh I want to start making mapping videos again. I have at this point 4 videos uploaded and just unlisted. Haven't clicked the button yet. But I want to basically gauge opinions. If you saw a new Peachy Fat video, what would you be thinking? Like, oh man, this guy's coming back. He's making mapping videos again. What's going on? Or is it more like hype? I don't even know. What is your perspective?
I think it'd be hype.
Oh, I have thoughts, but
I
please,
definitely.
White, go ahead.
Overall, I think people would be excited to see it. But there might be a little bit of like, what's he gonna add that he didn't add before, right? Is he going the approach of like revising his older videos with more modern stuff? Or is he talking about things that he hasn't talked about before? And if he's revising it, then how much does he really know about like how things have developed, that kind of thing?
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
But I think
can
overall
see
it
that.
would be very positive.
It's like the 2 cakes meme, except you made both cakes. That no matter what shape the new cake takes, people would be pretty excited about it. But there might be people with specific expectations, so you gotta like
Right.
brand it a little bit differently.
Yeah. I mean, the clear differentiator is I'm physically in the videos now. It's not just like a faceless voice. So you're able to like see me literally talking, and it's a lot of that. Presentation is also very different, and they're not. You were saying like, are you revising your old content? No, I'm not doing any of that. That sounds really boring.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll work out. I'm very nervous about how to. Like, I pressed publish on the first video I don't know what's gonna happen. That's kind of it. It's
So-
nerves.
I
If it's-
genuinely think the vast majority of people are going to be excited to see your videos again.
I agree.
I actually think the most, like, the comments and things like that, probably 90% of them are going to be like, oh my god, Pishty Fat remembered his password, as Walla put it. And then 10% of them are going to be actually about the video itself.
Right.
So you're
then,
gonna
okay.
have to get over that hump of like the novelty of you being back, and to actually get any kind of meaningful input on whether your videos are better or worse, or what they are, how you can adapt
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
I think
it-
the actual content is going to matter a lot here because you did mapping tutorials before, and if you go back into mapping tutorials, like basically like one of the largest like forms of criticism I saw with your videos back then was that you came across as the authority, even if you didn't intend to. That's just because you were probably the first person in the space with like actual good content on the topic. So everyone's just like, this is God, right? And so, if you want to do that, it's like another way is essentially like if you like started discussions by like presenting what you see, that would be cool. And basically like you try to engage with the new stuff as someone that's been around a while. I think that would probably make it more approachable, right? But you're just like doing something. It's just like you essentially start doing like vlog style stuff for Osu. That comment doesn't apply, right? It's a totally different thing, right? So
Okay. Yeah, this is all good perspective to have. It doesn't make much sense for you guys because you don't know the videos, but I'm thinking about what the videos are and how they apply to what you're saying. So okay.
And yeah, I think we could have like a better idea of like what the reception would be if we obviously knew what the video was.
Yeah, of course.
But
I'm gonna throw darts at the wall. I'm eventually one of them.
No.
Like
I
no, I think
knowing the
it'll be good.
criticisms is good.
But I agree. That's like the most common criticism of your videos that I've heard, is that they come across to especially new mappers as like fact, almost like this is how you do emphasis, this is how you do rhythm, whereas and I know your intention is like this is a perspective of it, or like this is the very basics, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of people out there that think that it is a little bit too on the nose, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I heard that criticism definitely a lot.
I'm sure yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you heard that quite a bit. In general, though, I still see people linking your videos as like a good place for people to start, because I don't think anyone's even come close to creating something as comprehensive and widely applicable. Like, I think overall you do a good job of like, these are the basics, here's some examples. But then in some ways it's difficult to apply. Like I remember when I was a new mapper learning how to map and using your videos, like for example, I wanted to learn how to hit sound, and I would watch your hit sounding video, and still at the end of that I would be like, I don't even know where to start. So, and there's only so much you can do in a video, right? Like it's not gonna be specific to any song or anything like that, but yeah.
Okay. Thinking about what I have right now, I think there's only one video of the 4 that is at all being like, this is what mappers do, because I wrote that video like 5 years ago. I modified it for now, of course, but it's a very old style. The other 3 are very much like different, I would say. So
I actually think my favorite content of yours is, to this day, is probably like the history type of stuff, because it's very difficult for new people to get like mapping history. So kind of
going
need
into
somebody
Russia
to,
was sweet.
yeah, like Russia, getting people like RLC for interviews and that kind of stuff, like just kind of talking about their perspectives. Those kind of stuff I think age really well, because as time goes on, it gets harder and harder to get those perspectives, and it's just really fascinating.
We're at the point where 2018 is history now. Like,
yes, actually.
Oh, yeah, that was 7 years ago.
okay.
Okay. I don't want to spoil anything about the videos, so I'm gonna say we cut that there. But
Sounds good.
I think you'll be mostly satisfied with the direction things are going then.
I can't wait for your episode on movement mapping. Thanks, Fishy.
I hope to never reach the topic personally. It would just be, I don't want to deal with that. No. Someone else can do that.
No, you don't. But that's funny.
Well, I actually think it could be a cool approach of like pulling in sort of experts on it and sort of using them to teach about it or learn about it. Like if you wanted to, like, because obviously you can't know everything, and you are
Right.
not, of course, expected to like everything. So, like, for example, if you don't like movement mapping, well, obviously you don't really want to spend all this time learning about it and that kind of thing, at least to the degree that you would need to be knowledgeable enough to talk about it. So then you can just interview people. You can pull in some, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, quote unquote movement mappers or people who are familiar with that concept, and talk to them about it. And as somebody who has enough experience in the game, what kinds of questions are going to be interesting, what kind of information to pull out, what topics to talk about. That's the aspect that a lot of newer mappers can't do. Like, if I wanted to learn about, whatever it is, sure, I can go ask the expert, but I don't know what questions to ask. I need I need to have experience to know what questions to ask.
So this is I've thought about not this specific topic, but the idea of what you're kind of saying is like there is this thing that the people should know about, so I should make a video about it. And I've thought about this. Do I really want to make videos for the sake of spreading information? Because my initial motivation here was I want to come back and make videos just because there's things I want to talk about. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily sure that it applies to all the things that people want to hear perspectives on. So, for example, movement mapping stuff, it's very interesting, I'm sure, from the perspective of the experts, as you say. I'm not necessarily sure I'm interested enough in it to want to go out of my way to ask people these questions and stuff like that, just because I want to make videos for the sake of personal enjoyment. Like I'm not gonna make big bucks making OSU mapping videos, I did not in the past, and I'm not expecting to now. So I'll think about that if like as I guess make more things and I play more maps through different eras, I'll potentially gather more interest in like movement mapping style stuff. But at this exact moment, sitting in my chair right now, I don't really want to make a video on it. That's the way I'm thinking about it.
Well, that's fair.
Whatever what resonates with you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Don't
like,
do
I think
stuff that
that's
you don't
the
like.
real crux of it. Is it's just like, perhaps one of the real questions to consider as you release new content is how much do you want to pander to or oblige your audience on what, even if you think that they want something, how much do you want to oblige that versus how much do you want to create? And usually people oblige that if there's financial incentive. I don't think you have any of those, so maybe the answer is never. But yeah, having that answer and sticking with it, I think, is gonna make whatever content creating you do in the future better for you. So
another approach could be having like guests create the video, like write it, commentate it, find the examples and things like that, and you just edit it in sort of your style, and then that might be a way to sort of, that it's interesting enough for me to spend a few hours editing a video, but not interesting for me enough to actually go out and spend 50 hours writing a script and then recording it and then re-recording it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to, why don't I just teach these people how to make the videos themselves so they can use their ideas?
I was literally going to say that. Like, why would I edit someone's video and put it on my channel if they're making the video? Like, they should just make the video.
Yeah.
It makes so much more sense.
Yeah. Which is also the other thing of like, I think a lot. Okay, so there's there are people making OSU videos, and they make them like they basically make like the clickbaity, like, this is a YouTube video, like, monetize me type of format stuff. And obviously it doesn't work like, I mean, there's not enough to really draw, and usually it's very surface level if you do that, right? So,
Yeah, I like John
I
Porter.
don't know. What?
I said I like John Porter's videos. That's all. It was supposed to be a.
Oh, okay.
Go, move on. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I'm just like, I'm thinking of like, if people have things that you're not covering, and your answer would be like, just make the videos lol. It's like, would you also have like a set of resources that you could link them to get this to the point where they could do that, you know?
Something's that broad though, they could really learn it anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video is a pretty accessible topic in video format, I would say. Like how to make videos is a very common video thing. My 2-year, I don't even know what I called it. The video I made after making 2 years of mapping videos, I talked about my process for making mapping videos. So I think some amount of that is out there. My process is totally different nowadays, so I don't know how much it applies, but the writing part, I guess, is the important part for most people.
Oh yeah. Do you still live in the US and just fly to Japan like every other month to film Peppy?
I've only been to Japan twice. I don't know why people think I go there all the time.
Because everyone else goes there all the time, you know, like the tech bros with their tech bro salaries, you know?
Right.
I think you just have that natural in-person dynamic together.
He's a web developer. He's got to be flying to Japan every month. Like,
no. This first started happening because I made the video, the like why you don't play laser video, and then people were like, "Wow, you're hanging out with Peppy. That's crazy." And then a few months later, I dropped a featured artist announcement with Peppy's standing at his desk playing Osu. But those were the same like trip, just they were separated in time. So people thought like, "Oh, you're there all the time. That's crazy." And yeah, I've had multiple people ask me. You're not the first one who's like, "Where do you live? You lived in Japan, right?" Like, definitely not. No, I'm living the same place I've lived for my entire life, LA.
Wow.
nah, but I mean, there's definitely people in LA that are in Japan like every month. That's the thing.
Go talk to Dietz. I'm sure he's there every other month.
He's in the Bay Area. Actually, he's like 10 minutes. He lives 10 minutes from me now. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I know he's gone to Japan multiple times at least.
Yeah.
I had a friend once that went to Japan for a semester abroad, and he didn't come back for like 2 years.
All right.
Just liked it that much, huh?
Yeah, actually.
It's kind of a cool place.
Didn't you go there relatively recently, or am I misremembering?
No, I did. 5 months ago. Damn, it feels like forever ago. But yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
It's a very easy place to go if you live in California.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I say about Hawaii too. So.
Oh yeah. No, when I went December last year, and the round trip ticket was like $400, which just feels crazy for flying halfway across the world, you know.
Oh, that's how much it would cost me to go to New York City.
Yeah.
$700 to go to New York City?
Yeah, I mean,
400,
flight
yeah.
prices are stupid.
That's crazy. You're only in South Carolina.
From Carolina.
Small town.
Yeah, it depends on where
I
your
guess
airport
that's
is.
fair. I guess that's fair.
Like, for
Like,
me,
the closer you are to a larger airport, the better you can do on those sorts of things. So
Yeah, definitely.
So in other words, Pitchy Fat should go more often.
I should go to New York more
Only
often. Only like
$700.
Yeah.
all right, let's do it.
Oh no.
Oh.
Now coming back to like the featured artist program, I wanted to know if you had any like fun or interesting stories about, artists, like in working with artists and that kind of thing that were fun or interesting. I remember like I'm thinking like VMC2 when we got Iroha, you had to like convince him that he actually did have the rights to give you the songs.
Let me think about this. Like, okay, at this point, I started doing featured artist stuff around like featured artist number 50. So you're asking me to think about 450 artist interactions plus some more that are unreleased. I can say like there's a lot of times where the ones that come to mind are like the cases where things don't work out because those are the most stand out, I guess. A lot of the times, or not a lot of times, there have been times where I reach out to an artist and the artist is like super down to do featured artist stuff, and then their label gets involved and it's the label is like completely uncooperative. I don't know why they have labels if they're literally just making it harder for these artists, but yeah. The more exciting times are when I think I mentioned earlier, sometimes you reach out to an artist and then they respond years later. And we've had that happen, like, I've had that happen, like, literally this year. Some artist I messaged 5 years ago replies and, like, hey, I didn't notice this email. Is this offer still open? And it's like, hell yeah, we got a really cool artist. Not announced yet. You'll see it probably next year, actually.
Nice.
The queue for artists is very long.
But who the heck goes through their emails from 5 years ago? Like, that's what I'm wondering.
I don't know. Yeah, it's very
I
weird.
could see it.
Inbox 0 is still a dream.
Oh, I do you know what superhuman is, half slashed? You seem like a tech guy, so you probably know. I mean, you are a tech guy.
No, but I don't know what superhuman is.
It's like it's an email app that you have to actually pay for, but apparently Peppy pays for it, so he got me on the inbox 0 mindset. I also monitor like 4 Osu email accounts, so it is very important for me to have good email stuff.
I read my email. I don't clear it. I'm just like, whatever. It's just a queue, and it's gonna fill up when it does. And yeah.
I have a problem where I have a lot of notifications hooked into email. So I'll read the notification on my phone and then swipe it away because I've been notified, and then I never delete the email, so it's never marked as read.
100%. 100%.
I have to mark things as read immediately. Like that's.
Why would I go through that extra effort if my eyes landed upon it? You know.
It's the OCD half slashed.
But
no. It's more of I need to not forget that this shit's gone. I don't know. Like,
but I'm pretty sure some people put like an email out there and then they never check it in general. Because there's been so many people where I try to email them and I get no success. And then before Twitter turned to shit, I would DM them on Twitter and they would be like, oh yeah, sure. I'd be like, sick.
Oh yeah.
Well, email's a really burdensome means of communication. Like it has formality attached to it. It's not. Yeah, it's literally like writing a letter.
Okay.
But digital.
Why you asked the question of do you have any funny stories with featured artists? And I don't have a funny one, but I have like a heartwarming one, I would say, where we reached out to this artist who's like a very well-known rhythm game art music producer. And a lot of the time what happens is these artists have very strict relationships with the games that they produce music for, like exclusive license stuff, so they're not able to like fully interact with those two in the way that they would like to necessarily. And there's this one artist who I'm not going to name because they explicitly asked not to be named, but they sent a very, very nice message being like, I love what Osu is doing with allowing artists or allowing people to make rhythm game levels for all these things that I wish the games that I worked for were allowing these kinds of things, because it's a very cool thing to see. And while I cannot license my music to you, I completely love everything about this. So keep doing what you're doing. I was like, oh, that's very nice.
That's awesome.
So sweet.
I wish we could license it, but it'd be so cool to license their music. They're amazing.
The featured artist program is like genuinely cool, and I've always been a big fan of Osu allowing user created content, compared to like a lot of games where it's just like, oh, it's created by like a team of people that are hired, right? And
minimum wage workers.
Most of them all have like the formula, right? Like they're not really necessarily trying to reinvent the wheel every time, right? They're just minimum viable product, send it, it's good.
Yeah, no. Osu
Well,
being
it's also
like,
just like it's just a totally different dynamic. It's like some companies gonna get some like part timers or just like minimum wage workers to make these levels, like stuff like that. Because the purpose of those arcade machines is like for arcades to buy them so that they get people in the door and all of that
I
stuff.
always wonder how that works because you never see anywhere like giving much detail. There was a very interesting thing recently for Project Sekai's anniversary where they were like, yeah, after we make the level, we have this whole QA process, and if notes are off by a millisecond, it's gonna break stuff. So we have to go through and like find these needles in the haystack, and I was like, that's so real.
Yeah, and they don't, and it's like these are generally. I imagine it's pretty unoptimized because it's like very specific. The scale is very small, et cetera, et cetera. It's nothing like Osu where it's like, wow, like millions of these things have been made and will continue to be made forever. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of development that comes from having a community make things rather than it being a business venture, I guess.
yeah,
I did get a message from someone like literally last week, kind of related. They're like, I'm actually, or okay, I asked them for context like a year ago, do you want to collab on something? And they responded just recently, being like, I now work for some rhythm game, I don't even know what it is, and I would like to do the collab, but I have to remain anonymous for the sake of my job, so that will be the requirement. And I'm like, that's an interesting situation you're in. Okay. But it's cool that an Osu player is making levels for some official rhythm game.
That is so cool.
oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Hey.
I'm not gonna out them though.
If you're
but
talking about Fonzen, it's not Fonzen.
oh, it's not. That's a different one. Damn. Okay. Unlucky.
I think
Lucky.
Fonzen would be in trouble because they've been making a lot of maps.
yeah. Well, it's not the first time Fonzen's been in a hot seat. I'm just
right.
saying,
I suppose,
like,
yeah.
He's not a stranger to this. Oh
No,
god.
definitely not. Cool. So I think probably we can start wrapping up, but I did have a bunch of viewer questions to go through. So I'll just kind of ask them, and we'll answer them, and then we can head off for the night. Sound good?
Sounds great. I'm going to the beach after this.
You going to the beach?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic.
Only like 3 p.m.
Yeah, it's
where
not
he
late.
is,
Yeah.
California.
That's where
Well,
I am too.
We
but
don't
I'm not
want
at
to
the
keep you
beach.
from your beach day.
Hold on, I'm grabbing the next flight. I'll see you there at 5.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
It takes more.
I already got
that.
sunburned, so I'm good.
So somebody asked, "How was your day today, Sir Pishyfat?"
Pretty good. I woke up, I set up featured artist stuff, then Matthew came over and we talked for an hour, and then I started the VATcast. It's not been a long day yet.
Did you say Matthew?
Yep.
Yo, that's my goat.
Matthew was here. Oh, maybe you weren't in the call when.
No, I was. I just didn't hear exactly because he like was chopping out or whatever. I didn't realize that. Oh, he's like, damn, it's Matthew. Holy fuck.
Yep.
Haven't heard from that guy in a long time.
He's still mapping.
Do you think mapping makes a person more knowledgeable on music?
Do I? Depends on what it is. If hit sounding definitely makes you more knowledgeable about how to write a percussion composition, or specifically a drum beat. In terms of like music theory, I don't know. Depends on it. I guess it will, but only tangentially. Like if you're trying to learn music, mapping is not the way, but you will pick up on things naturally. If you know anything about music already, though, I don't think it'll really change that much. It's more just applying the knowledge rather than gaining more.
I think it works more in like the other way, where the more knowledge in music you have, the more it influences your mapping.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
learned a lot of basics of music structure just because of mapping that I would not have known otherwise.
Yeah.
But not of musical chords, though I can't tell pitch to save my life. But like sections and everything, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think this question's better suited for someone who plays an instrument because I'm a mapper, not a musician.
Fair.
Just try making music and then report your results. Thanks.
Actually, yeah, that would be dope.
I've tried, and I don't want to get into it. Yeah.
It didn't
Or
work.
rather, I don't want to get
It's
into
alright.
making music. No, it's not like I don't want to talk about it. It's just I don't want to make music.
I tried ceramics. Never again. Some art forms are not meant for everyone.
Or well, the problem is I've tried making like using like stuff like Ableton and FL Studio, and I don't really want to make music in the styles that those programs benefit from. So like electronically produced things. I'd rather make stuff with like a guitar, and that's a completely different skill set, I think.
It is.
Well, you still got to know all your recording equipment. You got to know how to run your chains. You got to know how to do the mixing. So all of that carries over at least.
No, outsource that shit. Just let the soul rip, man.
No, I stick a microphone in front of an instrument. That's all I do.
You just get an acoustic guitar, go to town. Go electric when someone else figures that all that other bullshit out. Don't worry, man. Live your dream.
Hell yeah.
What's your favorite map to play and the favorite map you've made?
Favorite map to play. Let me look at my profile real quick. I don't remember the exact name. It's Valista by Sakuzio. Chloe's difficulty.
Chloe's, let's go.
I've loved that map for a long time. What was the second question? I forgot.
What's your favorite map that you've made?
Favorite map that I've made? I would say my most recently ranked map, or my most recent map, but that one was made in like an hour, so not that one. The one after that, though, Psychopomp by Thank You Scientist. It generally, the way it works is my favorite map is almost always the last map I made, which I think is a good sign. Yeah, if my favorite map was something I made 10 years ago, it feels like I probably have not made much progress since then.
You calling me out?
Yeah,
here.
or you just did something different for a while.
Or that. I if I don't like my maps for 10 years, I think I should pick up a different hobby. That's more my mindset.
That makes sense.
So I have a question on. I got two questions that are small. First of all, what do you think of the Assassin's Creed series these days? And then the second one is, how did your Pink Heart copy experiment go all those years ago? I forgot which Hanaton song it was on, but I know you did those.
Okay, well, first question. I have never played an Assassin's Creed game, so I have no idea.
What the fuck? Oh, okay.
Is that really that surprising?
I think so.
You mapped the OST, brother.
Oh, I didn't know it from that.
What kid? What? Okay, all right.
I just like the song. Sorry. It's a cool song.
This guy watched a Tobuscus video and then never went back. That's what it was.
Does Tobuscus have a video on that song?
Yeah, he did. Anyways, old memes.
Okay. The second question, I forgot the second question already. Sorry. I can handle one question at a time.
How did your Pink Heart copy attempt go?
Oh.
It was on like some Hanaton song. I forgot which one it was. But how did it go?
Is this like a? Did I like say that something was a Pink Heart copy? Because like I think I know what map you're talking about.
I think he's talking about your multi-account.
No, it was not that. It was.
No, it wasn't.
And it was not the like.
Because you know that was a thing.
It was not that one. No, it was the other one. It was like
Shiwa?
Yeah, it was Shiwa. Yeah.
I don't think I made that with Pink Heart in mind necessarily, but I think I know the connection that you're making because of the slider overlapping something is very similar to Pink Heart's just looking up the name of it, recall map. Yeah. But I don't think they're I don't even know how to say it. They're not supposed to be associated. I wasn't thinking Pink Heart while mapping that, but the design ended up being similar. Yeah.
Did you have a particular inspiration? Then if it wasn't Pink Heart?
I think it was like I every slider end to overlap another slider. That was kind of what I was going for. No specific person.
Oh, okay.
It was more the concept overlapped with the idea that Pink Heart had.
Yeah.
But Pink Heart's
Okay,
idea was a
fair.
lot more meaningful. Mine was just like, I have an idea for a pattern. Let me just do it 100 times.
Damn, it was surface level this whole time.
All my maps are surface level. What are you talking about?
Oh. Well.
By the way, where did
Oh.
your name even come from?
What happens when you Google Pishi?
I have no idea. I guess I'll Google it.
I'm doing it right now. If you Google image search Pishi, you'll just see a bunch of cats.
I wish I was seeing cats right now. I'm seeing lady influencers instead.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm
No.
seeing cats, yes.
I'm
Cat
seeing
is-
food.
So
I'm seeing a
I'm
little food, yeah.
I'm Persian. Well, I'm American, but family's Persian, and cat in Farsi is just Pishi, and so I grew up having a fat cat. So I'm like,
Oh.
I made this name when I was like 10. So I was like, cat is fat, Pishi fat. There you go.
Oh my
Wow,
god!
that's adorable.
It's a very
Love
simple
that.
name.
There's an
Wholesome.
image, pishy.ai, so maybe pishyfat is an AI.
No,
Oh, I see that.
they're just
yeah.
copying him.
Damn.
I'm gonna stop touching. Stop clicking on links of Pishi. No.
What's your favorite bird?
My favorite bird? Right now I'm gonna go with the Gambel's quail. It's a quail that it's like a desert quail specifically that I saw a lot during COVID. Because I was in the desert during COVID most of the time. And it's just so cute. I don't know how to say it. They're kind of stupid.
This question's a banger. Why
Okay.
is a hit sound sample bank sample set?
Why is a hit sound sample set?
I think they just put words together, White.
No, I think I'm following. It's like
I'm not.
I'm not.
Is this person saying like, why is a sample set called a sample set when it's actually a sample bank in the editor? That's my interpretation of the question.
Well,
in which case, I have no answer. I didn't code that stuff, but
I have no idea.
that's a confusing question. I like it. And if I'm completely wrong on the interpretation and it was just random, death of the author. I don't know.
True.
All right,
True.
this one's a question. Do you think that with good timing, any song can be mapped and ranked in the Yosu editor?
Polyrhythmic songs have something to say about this.
There was some YouTube video I remember called like how slow can a song can be, and like the thumbnail was like 32 BPM or something. So technically you can have something timed less than that and have it not really feel like a song because the notes are so disconnected. And I think the same logic can apply to maps where you can have a map but objects don't flow together depending on the density of notes or the rhythmic something that is too niche to even know because no one maps those things. So I'm going to go with no, but I'm going to go with yes for 99.9% of cases.
Yeah, because when you assume, I feel like when you assume timing, then yeah, it covers a lot. It's just then timing bars a lot of stuff, I think.
I mean, is this person talking like, is there some very complicated song, or is it rather is a song that is just like noise? Because
I think that
very
they're
different.
probably thinking about like something that's really challenging, like some metal thing that's like super giga polyrhythmic or whatever.
I
but
think those are more
even
mappable
them-
than slow things.
Yeah.
Like I think if you're talking the most extreme of songs, you can map it.
I mean, I think you just go if you're doing polyrhythm, you just pick a layer and you follow it, right? So
Yeah.
Somebody wants to see a tag 4 video on mapping. Or sorry, a video on tag 4 mapping.
I'm not the one. Talk to Koofs or
Talk to
Video.
GN.
talk to or GN.
Oh, that would be cool.
There's a lot of things people
Collaboration?
can make is about.
What do you think about modern farm maps?
They're the same as old farm maps, but shorter.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't really play them, or I mean, I play them, but like I play it once and then move on, so I don't really think too hard about it.
Oh, thoughts on score farming? Probably some like I know you used to do that.
I mean, I still kind of do that.
Hell yeah.
I think it was Nanero who told me you need to play more maps at COE. So I've just been playing a lot of maps, a lot of variety. So recently I've been in my score farming phase. I'll stop at some point because, you can't stick up to it forever unless you have a lot of time. But it's kind of fun to just think about. There's a lot that you can glean from a map that I don't really know if. I think, okay, let me rephrase this. Every time you play a map, there is something you can get out of it. And whether that's something about like the map itself or the mapper or the context of the map or something broader, I don't even know. You can gain something from it. And I think just score farming is a good way to embrace that mindset. And so I've been really enjoying that. And I definitely have a video related to that coming. Not related to score farming, but more related to how I think about maps when I'm playing.
That sounds like an interesting video.
You won't think so when you watch it. It's going to be very long.
Live video sounds good. What's your opinions on loved as a category? And what would you personally think is the best way forward in the love to ranked situation?
You think there is even a situation? I guess.
Well, actually, you probably don't know Half/Slash, but they recently came out with a change where loved maps cannot get unloved and they cannot become ranked.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, are you asking about that situation specifically, or just more generally?
Well, I was giving Half/Slash the
Rap
context.
about love. Yeah, rap about love, please.
Yeah, the question itself is just what's your opinion on loved as a category, and then what's your opinion on the best way forward for the loved to ranked situation, which I assume is talking about what I just mentioned.
Okay, so I have a very I've thought about this before. I'm trying to remember my exact thoughts. Okay, so they're both promotions of maps, more or less, from pending to ranked or pending to loved. And the way you go about this is different value systems. The ranked system is more about criteria. So it's, there's a whole ranking criteria. I'm not going to get into it. And the loved system is more about vibes. And so they accomplish very different things, but I think loved is more in line with what I want to see out of map promotion than ranked, but that's because my mindset is changing. Except the problem is I don't agree with the vibes that other people have, so it doesn't end up working that way, which ends up being making me want to play more ranked. So if the world worked how I want it to work, loved would be more favorable to me, but it doesn't.
I have a cynical thing to say on that, and I think that almost every mapper that has a problem with love thinks the same thing you just said.
Really? Oh, nice.
Yeah, and meaning everyone is competing. Everyone wants to be able to just handpick what they want for vibes and make that ranked, and therefore that's where a lot of the mapper opposition is coming from on loved as a concept, because they don't get to do that. So
mappers have ranked, and it shouldn't matter.
So do you think that ranked is for the mappers, and then loved is more for like the player mindset?
I mean, yeah, loved is for the masses, ranked is for the nerds.
But what if
Sure.
the nerds don't think it's for them anymore?
Well, who is it for if not them?
Well, if you ask them, it's for the players.
The players aren't nominating maps.
Yeah, but the NAS are being nominated for the players.
They're influencing the decisions of the nerds. I see.
Yes.
I see.
I mean, there's so many BNs out there that literally, like, will nominate things. And I can actually see their perspective on it, but they'll nominate stuff because it gets players into the OSU, right? So it's kind of regardless of the map's quality, it's the song. The song is popular right now. If we rank the song, it'll bring in new players. I've seen that perspective.
The block
you know, just the engagement. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of, actually. And you know, I can see the perspective there, but you know, then it's just not really about the quality of the app. We're not pushing quality necessarily.
I think
it's not really for the mapper at that point.
Well, the person trying to there's too many perspectives from mappers. Yeah. There's I guess Loved is a little more curated than Ranked in that sense, because Loved is just a few people picking, whereas BNs are like a million people at this point.
Right.
That is so fucking based. I'm so glad you said that. I agree. I've had the same thought, but like, I don't know. People are just like, he's just a ranting old man when he says that.
Well, getting validation from another ranting old man is not really helping your case, I think. But,
You're also based for saying that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Loved is of the more exclusive category in general. There's less loved maps. It's harder to get loved. But it's also it's sort of more prone to bias as well. Like if your map is not liked by the people who are nominating it, like your map might be liked by the community, but you have to get the person nominating it to actually like it too, right? So it's not really an aspect of like the community likes this. This is just the person who nominated it likes it.
Standard has different categories of maps in their nominations now.
Yeah.
So they'll have they have the popular play count picks. They have bringing up really old maps as the outstanding oldies. They got some spectacle picks. They have a literal division for Standard. This doesn't apply to the other modes for Loved picks, where they will have these categories so that it's not just what the captains personally think is like a spectacle. It's like there's a little bit of different things represented.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
I think Loved existing is cool. It's just like alternate universe Ranked. What happens if players control a certain thing, but also players control it in a very specific way. It's just a cool concept. Yeah.
Yeah. I have another question that came as I'm sorry, I know we were gonna wrap up, but damn, this is interesting. When do you think a mapper when do you think that a map is no longer the mappers, in the sense that when do you think like by uploading to the site, or like by ranking the map, or like whatever, when does the map stop becoming the mapper's sole thing, I guess?
Are you talking like is the map being licensed to OSU? Are you talking more
Not
literally
necessarily?
Or like...
I'd say that so where this comes from is this is related to the Loved thing being permanent. Basically, with the Loved with that decision, it's like the mappers don't get to control. They now have lost certain control just by having the map uploaded. Because it's like before, it was like, okay, you rank a map, it's OSU's, right? And that's very clear cut. And now with the Love change, it's more of, okay, you upload a map and it could become Osu's, if that makes sense. Like, where do you stand on that and like how that
Oh,
should
I
be
see what
and
you're talking
what
about.
it is?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the point of upload, it's basically Osu's, personally
Okay.
speaking. Just because, I don't know, I think, like, I'm thinking on very legal terms, like, as soon as it's uploaded on Osu, I think Osu just has the rights to whatever you have published. Something like that. I've not read the terms of service, but I figure something like that's in there. Otherwise, every map is copyright infringement. I don't think that's exactly happening.
Well, it could be, but you know,
it could be. You know, I'm not
Um,
interested in checking personally. But it, you know, if I was a mapper, like let's say I stopped playing Osu and then I looked back on Osu in 10 years and some map of mine was loved. I don't think there's any situation where I would be like upset about that. Maybe other people have different ways of thinking about that, but it's like if I uploaded it and I'm like now I can't delete it, it's like the best I can do is GDPR disassociate my name from it, and yeah, but I can't really erase the history of I've put this thing on the internet for people to experience, and I don't think there should be a way to really do that. So I'm kind of controversially in support of love maps being loved forever, but I also think that's the same as just uploading on the internet is the same as being loved. I don't know.
I mean, I think your perspective is pretty reasonable. Also, I happen to agree with it. So, but yeah, it's a lot of. I think a lot of the complaints don't consider a lot of the context you just said. So a lot of people are just like, "It's my map. Therefore it's mine," and that's not really how things work.
Yeah, like bad news. The Wayback Machine has everything you've ever done, basically. So.
Yeah, and I mean, sure, there have been legal challenges on that, and you can see how that has gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope Web Archive doesn't go away. I use it a lot.
It won't.
Me too.
I think it has Section 230 protections, which are, I don't know, they're still there. Like,
I don't know.
They're there because they protect, and they protect organizations, so they'll stay.
I see.
We're about like things that are going away are about individuals. Yeah, no, those things are going, but you know, organizations, you know, people can make money off of it. People, yeah, no, they'll be fine. Especially when they're, anyways. That's a whole thing. That's
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, well, there's more questions, but I think that's probably a good spot to wrap it up for today.
Sorry,
I hug
anyone
all the
else who asked?
time. Sorry, questioners.
Well, we can't ask every single question. I'll be here for another hour. So, thanks everyone for watching. And hey, make sure you go and participate in the Vocaloid mapping contest and support it. So I can keep running these every year. And yeah. Also hop in the Vocaloid Appreciation Team Discord for our weekly mapping zone every Saturday. There's people in there like all day every Saturday. It's crazy. Just like talking, and there's people making Vocaloid songs. It's a good time. It's a good chill. Yeah. That's all I got. Anyone else have anything that they want to say?
Sign up for White's Flight School. What is open?
True. True.
Yeah, drop that link. There better be Vocaloid playing while the flight's going on.
Hell yeah.
True.
Yeah, I can do that.
Hell yeah.
Wait, yo.
No, it was very nice being here, though. It's gonna sound very cheesy, but it's very fun to talk with OSU community people like this.
Yeah, you probably don't get to do it very much with how busy you are.
Well, thank you.
I do not do it very
Yeah.
often, no.
Been a
Because
pleasure, Pishy.
COE concentrates all of it. 1 week out of the year.
1 week of Osu every year. That sounds pretty good.
Does it though? Does it have slushed?
Yeah, 1 week
It is pretty good.
great. Yeah, it's pretty
okay.
good.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
one's great.
I see your perspective there. Yes.
And then every other week with the mix is also good, but a hypercentric week, pretty good. Anyway, thank you so much, Fishy Fat, for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you
Alright.
for hosting.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to do it, and we'll see you around.
Bye.
Yeah.